women need someone better than them, smarter than them, fitter than them, bigger than them, more inspiring than them, more successful than them. Otherwise, where's the attraction?
It's true.
I'm asking. Maybe some women don't mind, but I mind. I need to be inspired by the guy. Otherwise, I'll eat them for breakfast. I mean, I'll finish them off.
That's a fact. A true man gives off the energy of power and leadership, and that's what makes women get attracted to him and obsessed.
In 24 hours, I also need someone to handle me. And only an alpha or a double alpha can do that.
They are tired of handling things on their own and admit wanting a Sigma male to lead them.
My worst nightmare is either one ended up alone.
There's just something so lonely about your mid-20s.
I want a job. I don't want to be a corporate girly. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to be a boss babe. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be the breadwinner. I do not want to do that. You know what I want to do? I want to be home. I want to be cooking in the kitchen. I want to be cleaning. I want to be shopping. I want to be making brownies. I want to be cooking dinner.
In the end, most women realize how much better it is to be a traditional woman rather than a modern one. All of these women had hundreds of options for good, loyal, hardworking men, and they turned them down. Good luck. Men are alone by choice. Women are alone because of their choices. Big difference.
Making homemade meals every night, almost every night. I want to do all the things. I want to welcome my future husband home from work with a big bear hug and a, hey, you ready for dinner?
I dread the day that I said I wanted to work, that I wanted to be an independent woman. I regret that is my biggest regret.
You can tell the genuine regret in her eyes.
In life, I just want to get married to a rich guy, and I don't want to do anything. I wasn't born to work. I just want to be a trophy housewife. A rich trophy housewife. That's all I want to be. That's my dream.
This proves that being a traditional woman is a bliss, and women now want that more than ever.
I don't want to work. I don't want to be independent anymore. I don't want to fight with the other men. Girl, I hate the woman that fought for our rights. Who told you to do this to us? To hell with you. To hell with you all.
Guys, remember, when a woman is complaining about being unable to find a man, she's talking about her ideal man, not men in general or the average man. Women, where are all the good men? Men, enjoying our peace and quiet without you.
The hardest part about being the single friend in your mid to late 20s is not the actual fact of like being single, it's thinking you're gonna be somewhere else at this point in your life. Like, I am not happy with how my life's going. I don't know how to change it. The panic and the fear and the loneliness is like something I never thought I would have to deal with ever.
Unlike men, the struggle is real, and now they can't help but address it on the internet.
And I'm like so happy for a lot of my friends, but like, I don't know why the universe said, yeah, you can sit home and be alone. Like, I don't want to be doing this.
On the other hand, if men are alone, they embrace that fact. They use that energy either to succeed, work out, or do something that could benefit them in the long term.
I'm looking for a husband. I'm old. I'm 41. I'm obviously looking for a husband.
You can't help but notice the desperation as they feel burdened by the fact that they need to find a man as soon as possible.
I just watched a video of a couple finding out that they're pregnant after years of not being able to get pregnant. And at first I was crying because it's really sweet and I'm so happy for them. And then I started crying because I'm sad. And I'm not sad because I've had a miscarriage or because my partner and I are trying to get pregnant and can't.
The reason a woman can be sad in this situation is the fact that she missed the opportunity to find her man.
Neither of those things are true. I'm sad because I don't even have a person to get pregnant with. And I think it's been really difficult for me to come to terms with the fact that I'm 36 years old and single, because I just always imagined that I would get married when I was 22 and buy a house and have kids right away and there would be no issues, la-di-da. Of course, I'm sure a lot of us think that.
They know at this point that they can't reverse that action. and it's maybe too late to get their potential man.
But I think this is just part of the conversation that I never hear about. It's rare to hear single people talking about how badly they want to have kids.
That's true. It's rare for women to admit that, but lately, we notice how much they're willing to come out and say the truth. You are not single by choice. Your choices have made you single. Kevin Samuels. Looking for the perfect man in an imperfect world isn't smart, not if you want to be in a relationship.
A lot of us in our early, late 20s, 30s feel this way. Nobody talks about it. Everyone's always trying to post on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, and make it seem like their life is so busy and fun. It's the highlight reels. But I love when I see content like this, even though it's sad, like we all feel like this.
It's true in the social media videos. Everyone claims to be in a relationship and happy when the reality is far from that.
And no one speaks up about it. I live alone. I am super introverted, independent. I literally work from home. I do every single thing in my life by myself because I'm not in a relationship anymore. And that took some getting used to for sure. Now I enjoy like my downtime, but there are totally times and weekends, Friday nights, where I wish I had friends that, or even a boyfriend.
Even if you do all the activities in the world, the feeling of loneliness is inevitable to them.
To do stuff with, like the same routine gets old after a while of just being by yourself. And it's hard. Like a lot of my friends are late 20s, 30s, married, engaged. The rest of my friends live in other cities throughout the country or farther away, so it's just hard.
That's the harsh truth. Even if they have their own friends, life moves on, and everyone has their own thing. No one will stop to chase the loneliness away. All the good men are avoiding all the toxic women. Have you noticed the common phrase used by all these women? I want. It's always all about I want. Completely self-obsessed, self-centered, and selfish.
That I'm 46 years old and I don't have a husband to take care of me.
Her facial expression says it all. It's like a far cry, wanting a man.
Young people take notes. That is the best thing that can happen here. When an elderly person says, I've gone before you and these are the mistakes I've made.
Indeed, a person needs to learn from others' mistakes.
Don't make it. That is the best gift any elderly person can give you because it means you can make better choices. The bad choices leaves them desolate and you see that desolation and that person is strong and wise enough to say, look, this is my reality, but you don't have to have that same reality.
These are the pieces of advice modern women should listen to, not the bad advice.
She has to depend on God's second chance, but you can make a better choice so that you don't even have to be at that point. It's unfortunate because young people don't see these videos where older women at 46 are crying on TikTok, talking about how they made a major mistake, they let go of a good man, and now they're over 40 and they're alone and they wish they had made a better decision.
That's true. These videos are very rare because most videos are bad advice that leads women to leave men, only to regret it.
Young men don't get to see men alone in their house who are wishing, oh, I wish I had a lady. They don't see those videos.
Men never do that. Even if they're alone, they embrace that fact.
A lot of women that are midlife, 45 and above, and are single and alone are terrified of what their futures are going to look like.
Indeed, the fact that the future is unknown to them is terrifying.
You know what? Growing old alone and having to deal with all these things is a scary process, especially when it comes to how the world is right now. Growing old and the fear of possibly what could go wrong with my body and having to deal with all of these things by myself.
That's the mistake they make when they avoid men. They forget that time won't always play in their favor, and neither does their age.
Is not a fun thought to have. And never mind struggling financially, being alone, like literally alone, having no one there to talk to as you age, you know, no kids, especially for those of us who never had kids.
Those struggles can come in all forms and shapes.
It's a real thing. And I just wanted to come on here and ask how you guys are dealing with these thoughts. But still, that little voice sometimes pops into my head and I think, wow, what if I do grow old alone? How is that going to look?
That's not something they like to think about. And the moment they start thinking of that outcome, they start to seek men at all costs.
And it honestly scares me.
So when a woman regrets losing you, what she would try to do, her immediate strategy to get back into your life is to be friendly. Immediate. She would, because that's her gateway to get back in. She knows you probably won't give her a relationship immediately, especially if she knows she put you over, right?
She knows time isn't playing on her side, and she tries to undo everything just for the sake of being with the man himself.
So she's gonna try the friend route, and that's all she's trying to do. She's basically saying, damn, up, I regret losing you.
It's gonna bite you if you do. You get very comfortable being single. You get comfortable being in your own world, your own routines, nobody else telling you what to do. I should actually preface that and say that no one should ever tell you what to do, but being like, hey, we have dinner plans with so-and-so at this day, this time, be there, be ready. Don't be fearful of commitment.
That's right. They get too comfortable doing what they want, and by the time they age, they seek someone to guide and be there for them.
Do not be fearful of getting in a relationship. Do not push somebody away and self-sabotage because you are not used to somebody else being a part of your life.
Back in youth, they think that pushing men away is a part of growth, but later on in life, they realize that they only harm themselves because a good man will not come twice.
Be single for as long as you need. Do your thing, do your healing work, have your fun, but don't ever pass up the opportunity of being with a good person because you're used to being alone.
Because meeting a good man is rare.
Unless your intentions are to be single for the rest of your life.
I'm so over waiting. Like, when is it gonna be my turn? What did I do wrong? What is wrong with me? I don't know why it's so easy for some people. I just feel like I'm never gonna find the person, if I even have a person. And I don't want to sit around swiping on dating apps and going on these first dates where you just sit down and you're like, let's see if we like each other. It just feels so forced. I don't want to be alone forever. I feel like we're playing musical chairs, and if I don't spend time on it right now, then I'm going to be the last one standing up when everyone sits down.
This is when desperation comes into play. And let me tell you, if you're not careful enough, desperation is like poison, so be careful.
And everyone's gonna get married and start having kids, and then I'm just gonna be like the last single person, and no one is gonna have time for me. Like, I didn't have a bad childhood. It wasn't like super traumatic. If it wasn't purity culture that messed me up and made me afraid to like date and take risks, then what is it? Like, why am I such a... I just feel like I'm always working so hard on something. I'm always working toward a goal. Like, when is it gonna be my turn to like fall in love and relax and like chill?
Modern women indeed go through these regrets, and only then do they know for a fact that they should have planned differently.
Be the person who's never chosen. It's not even about wanting to be in a relationship. It's not even about wanting like sleep with everyone or do all these things. Not feeling desired does psychological warfare to you, because when everyone chooses everyone else except you, like the last kid being chosen for soccer, why am I the last one being chosen?
They have to live seeing others being desired while they are the third wheel, and they can't accept it.
Common denominator is obviously me, and then it just makes you feel bad. People are like, oh, self-love this, self-love that. Like, yeah, okay, I do love myself. But it'd also be nice to feel desired. Or when you're at the bar and everyone's flirting with everyone except you, and you're just standing there. What else are you supposed to do? No one's talking to you. Everyone's talking to everyone else.
So they just overthink and stay desperate, looking for a man.
A lot of you have pointed this out, and the truth is, you're right. I've just been alone for so long that I just kind of accepted that that's the way it would always be. And I just tried to be happy alone, even though a lot of the time I'm not.
This is the final phase. After denial, they come to terms with it because they know they missed their chances, and life isn't about second chances. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.